This is Extension Connection.
Good morning. This is Bruce Schmidt, Burleigh County Extension Ag and Natural Resource, and I'll be joined shortly with the Extension Connection with Amelia Dahl. And to start with, I want to talk about a topic we did highlight a few weeks ago, but we are in the second week of the Field to Fork webinar. And this coming, actually today, is the recommended vegetable varieties for North Dakota. And this will be at 2 to 3 o'clock. And the Morton County Extension Office is hosting it. So you could just actually show up at the courthouse and sit in on this presentation from 2 to 3. The other are going to be webinars, and those will continue through till April 26th. So every Wednesday, there's going to be a Field to Fork campaign. This is the webinars are free of charge. March 8th is going to be on what regulations apply when preparing food for the public. March 15th is U.S. food laws. March 22nd is introduction to wine making. The 29th is herbs from growing to packing. April 5th is will the Food Safety Modernization Act guidelines affect your business? On the 12th, we'll be talking about the spotted wing Drosophila, or fruit fly in North Dakota. 19th would be how to can low and high acid fruits. And on the 26th is introducing youth to gardening. Again, if you're interested in these, the Morton County Extension Office is going to have them webinar broadcast right into the meeting room. Their phone number, if you want to join them, is 667-3340. Our office can also help set you up if you're interested in any of the other webinars. The time, again, is going to be Wednesdays from 2 to 3. And these are free and open to the public. One other thing that maybe we're jumping the gun a little bit, as it's a little brisk out there today, but we do have the opportunities for these 2017 Spring Fever Garden Forums. These have been very popular in its fourth year now. The NDSU Extension Service is hosting these as 4 Mondays to help families care for their gardens and landscapes. Now, this is a little bit off yet, as the first one is not going to be scheduled to start until March 20th. And but we want to give everyone a heads up that this is going to be coming. The Burleigh County Extension Office will be one of the host sites, and the sessions run on Mondays from 6:30 to 8:30. Again, the sessions are free, and we invite everyone to attend. The sessions are going to be broken into 4 different topic areas, with March 20th, that Monday, is lawn and gardens. And in that, we're going to have 4 different speakers. And one's going to be covering spring lawn care, how to get your lawn off to a strong start, talking such topics as fertilization, aeration, repairing vole damage. And with the snow, the likelihood of vole damage is going to be very high this year. Then we'll be looking at soils for your garden and containers. Again, this is just the options for soil medium for your gardens and containers. And then we're going to have a topic is prairie meadow gardens. Find out what is a meadow garden and how to create one. The second week is March 27th, and that's going to be shrubs and trees. The topics, subtopics will be flowering shrubs. What are the best varieties, species for a home landscaping? Second topic is if you want to plant a birch tree. We're going to learn what types of birch are going to grow best and where to plant them, and most important is how to keep it healthy. And then also we're going to be looking at diagnosing spruce disorders. This is going to be whether it be insects, whether it's a disease, or if it's just the environment. So we're going to learn how to treat those problems. And then on Monday, April 3rd, is fruits. We're going to be looking at growing Juneberries, how to get the best crop by selecting good plants and controlling the pests that might be attacking the Juneberries. Then we're going to be looking at grafting apples. Want to add a new variety of apples to your existing tree? We'll have an on-hands demonstration on how to graft apple trees. And growing raspberries. We'll be looking at the different cultivars, how to trellis them, pruning, and just general management practices. On our last week, which is April 10th, will be landscaping ideas. Excuse me. We'll be building raised beds. Raised beds make it easier for everyone. We'll show you how to build a sturdy and attractive raised bed. We'll be also looking at adventures in shade gardens. Make your garden glow in the shade. We're going to look at different forms, colors, and heights just to help that yard and that shade garden just pop. And then we'll be looking at smart gardening for butterflies. You learn how to identify and attract butterflies to your yard. And a beautiful monarch butterfly will be used as an example. Now, this is not just a Burleigh County site. There'll be other sites across the state, and right now they are being finalized. But we'll have the link on our webpage, or you can just type in NDSU Spring Fever Garden Forums, and that'll bring up to you a site that might be closer to you. At the sites, they'll provide handouts. There'll be free samples of seeds and bulbs for the registers. And also, there'll be just some live presentations that you can watch. And kind of a bonus one. On the first week, there's going to be flower bulbs and seed. The bonus session on week 2 is seed starting. Bonus section on April 3rd is insect traps. And on the April 10th is going to be the butterfly feeders. And we'll take a quick break here, and we'll come right back.
Right now, 21.
News and Views with Joel Heitkamp. Weekdays on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to Extension Connection. I'm Bruce Schmidt, Burleigh County Extension Ag and Natural Resource Agent, and hopefully shortly Amelia will be joining us here. Just kind of want to recap. We've been want to highlight again the Field to Fork webinar. So if you're wondering what you can do this afternoon from 2 to 3 is the recommended vegetable varieties for North Dakota is the topic, and it's going to be broadcast live into the Morton County Extension office from 2 to 3. And if you're interested in joining, give their office a call at 667-3340, and you'll be able to reserve your spot. This will be a very interesting. Tom Cobb is going to be the presenter, and he always does a wonderful job. And he is also responsible, or kind of the driving force, one of the driving forces behind the Spring Fever Garden Forums. And we talked about those with the different topics. They're starting on March 20th. Lawn and Gardens, 27th, Shrubs and Trees, April 3rd is Fruits, and April 10th is Landscaping Ideas. They are asking that, if possible, to pre-register. Registrations can be done either by phone to your local extension office, or they also have a website. If, like you said, just we will have that link on our webpage shortly here, or you can just type in or Google NDSU Spring Fever 2017 Garden Forums, and that'll bring you right to the website. This is as I said, it's been a real positive in the fourth year of running. The live presentations are delivered from to the extension offices across the states. Just a lot of opportunities, not only from the specialists that are talking, but also as you're in the sites. From the evenings it's from 6:30 to 8:30. But there's an opportunity for to kind of have a interaction with each other and kind of discuss the topics that they've been doing with the garden forums. And so you've got a little couple weeks yet, but we sure hope that you'll be interested and sign up to attend. And we are joined now with Amelia.
Hi, everybody. I was listening on the way over here, and it makes me super excited that we're talking about gardening, because that means warm weather is supposed to be coming, right?
I hope so. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to make it show up.
You're making that happen?
Yes.
Did you talk about, I missed the beginning, like 13 minutes as I was doing the school run, but did you talk about the Garden Expo?
No, we have not.
Yeah, that's, to me, that's like the symbol of the start of spring and all things green and growing and bright and beautiful. And that's coming up April 21st and 22nd.
Yes.
And that's another great opportunity for you to come and get a bunch of learning done, kind of get your hands dirty. I'm going to hopefully be doing a demonstration on how to garden with kids, so the kids can actually get their hands in some soil and start what will hopefully be a good garden for the year.
And I, this will be my first one where I'll be actually on the presenting side. But I have attended it the last few years as a participant, and it's just the speakers and the sessions and the displays are just top notch. I know, I don't know how many people go through there.
A lot.
But yes, and it's crowded, and it's kind of interesting to see.
It is, but it's also cool to see how many other people out there are that like to do the same things that you do, because sometimes it feels like you're a gardener of one, but this is really an opportunity for you to connect with other gardeners. Like Bruce mentioned, we'll be doing presentation. There's presentations Friday night and the morning part of Saturday.
Correct.
And a wide variety of topics. And I know you were talking about Tom Kolb. Mm-hmm. He's kind of the person who brings in a lot of people, because he is a very dynamic and interesting speaker who knows his stuff. And he has been on our show before, so it'll be an opportunity. He hasn't been on our show for a while, so it will be an opportunity for you to kind of hear from the source on all things gardening.
Yeah, and we better have spring by then.
It always, because 4-H, Burleigh County 4-H does a plant check, so if you buy stuff and you want to continue shopping but you don't want to carry your ginormous pot of hydrangeas around with you, you can come in, we'll check them for you and then help you out to your car. And whenever it's cold, I'm always afraid that all these plants that people are going to they're getting are going to die, and it just makes me sad. Mm-hmm. Because there's some beautiful flowers. Like, you just walk in there and you can breathe the spring. It's wonderful.
Well, I think that's the part, it's just the fact that we had so much snow at the beginning of the winter, and probably it's just going to go down to an average winter, but it seems like it's taking forever.
Well, and I don't think it helped. I mean, it was super nice when we had those 40-degree days, but I know I struggle now when it's 20 outside, which is not bad for this time of year, but I'm like, God, I know Mother Nature, I know you can be warmer. Mm-hmm. Let's make that happen, but we need to have some cold weather so that we can appreciate the hot, miserable weather, right?
We'll go with that, right?
So anything else you
No,
wanted to talk?
what do you have for us?
Well, today's a big day in the 4-H world. Registration for 4-H
4-H
camp.
camp.
Opens. Yes, and it's super exciting. And I know I talked a little bit about it the last time we were on the show, and Carla's talked about it. But this is a great opportunity that is super close to Bismarck Mandan, and you don't have to be a 4-H member to go to 4-H camp, which is awesome because it gives kids, maybe they're on the fence about being involved in 4-H. They'll learn a little more about 4-H, or maybe, you know what, your kid just doesn't need another activity to do during the school year. But this is a great opportunity to kind of get some of the benefits in 4-H condensed down in a week. And a lot of times parents say, well, why do I want to send my kid to 4-H camp? There's a lot of learning that happens, and especially 4-H camp. 4-H in general is the only research-based youth organization. And so when we're talking about the education we're providing, the opportunities we're giving to those kids, you know that everything that's coming out of 4-H is research-based, and that comes back to the Extension Service and our mission of providing that education. But at 4-H camp, they also do learn by doing, which is the 4-H motto. That's right. And there's no better way to learn than by doing it. Study after study shows that kids, there's a quote that, and I'm going to not remember who said this, but it said, tell me and I will forget, show me and I'll remember, let me do it and I'll be able to redo it. Mm-hmm. And so at 4-H camp, kids aren't sitting in a classroom listening to lectures. They're not sitting in front of somebody learning or being told, this is a leaf from an oak tree and this is a leaf from a cottonwood tree. They're going out into I wouldn't call it a forest, the grove, treed area.
It's a nice treed area.
Yeah, the wooded area.
Right on the banks of the Missouri River.
Yeah, it's a really pretty place, and they're going out there and they're finding all of these different things. Last year at the camp that I worked, we went and got a bunch of weeds and trees and plants back there, and then kids had to identify them. And it was amazing the knowledge they had once they stopped and thought about it. And that they didn't sit in a classroom to learn that. They were up on the hillside identifying these different plants. So it's a great opportunity for them to do things. And the nice thing about 4-H camp is every week there's something different. So every kid will find a camp that they like. Right. We have livestock camp, which is always kind of like the kickoff for the year.
Always has been like you said, the first week of June.
Yep. June 4th through the 8th this year. And that's for kids 8 and older. So if you have kids that are, they're getting ready to show for achievement days or for your county fair or for state fair, or they just want to learn more about how to take care of livestock, that's a good place for them to go.
Now, are they encouraged to bring their own animals?
Yes. Okay. Yes. They are asked to bring their own animals, but no rabbits or swine.
Right. Because of disease potential.
Yep. So they'll learn to groom, clip, show a variety of livestock. And this is also a good place. If your kid has been showing, we'll say, beef cattle for a few years, they've been showing that. And so they may know that species very well. But when it comes down to the round robin, where they get to show that they know how to show a horse and a goat and a sheep, they may be lacking those skills, and livestock camp is a great place to learn how to do those things because it's in a safe learning environment. And not just livestock camp, but all of our camps, there's no risk to taking chances. Right. So much now, everything when we're in school is based on a GPA and a grade. At 4-H camp, you're not getting graded.
Nope.
And
just
so
have fun.
You have fun, and you're learning while you're doing it. And so kids are more likely to take those risks to learn those skills. And then after they learn it, they have that confidence boost and they feel better about being able to do that. So we are going to take a quick break here, and we come back, we'll talk a little more about not only 4-H camp, but the benefits of sending your kid to summer camp.
Right now, 21.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. supertalk1270.com.
All right, welcome back to the Extension Connection. You are joined today with Amelia Dahl, 4-H Youth Development Agent for Burleigh County. And Bruce, our A&R agent, just stepped out as he is going to be on the noon show on KFYR. So once you're done listening here, if you still need more fix for Extension, tune in to KFYR to see Bruce's show on there. Before the break, we were talking about summer camps and the benefits of summer camps, and because today registration opened for 4-H camp, and this is a big thing. Last year we had record number of campers, and we're hoping this year to again break that record. And we were talking about the benefits of sending your kids to camp. And in addition to learning a skill or gaining some knowledge, there's also side learning that's happening and development that's happening. Leadership, communication, participation. At 4-H camp, we follow the 6 pillars of character counts. And so there is always an underlying lesson being learned about character counts. And so we're learning responsibility, how to be resourceful, how to be resilient. And resiliency is one thing that you're probably hearing more and more about in the media, about us needing to teach our kids how to be resilient and how to persevere. And it's a tough thing to teach. It's something that it's one of those quote unquote soft skills that we hear a lot about that we're finding that kids entering the workforce aren't having, and yet nobody really knows how to teach them. So at 4-H camp, we do focus on a lot of that soft skill development. And for a lot of kids, this may be the first time that they are away from home. And most of our camps run Sunday afternoon to Thursday morning. So they get that opportunity to be away from home for a few days, kind of learn some independence and some responsibility. But they're doing so, like I said earlier, in that safe environment. We have very qualified, trained camp counselors that are there. There's always extension staff there. And they're always busy, and so they get that opportunity to be away from home and build those skills while they are learning and developing other skills as well. And before the break, we had talked about livestock camp, and again, those dates are June 4th through the 8th. Another one of our really popular ones are our horse camps, and these usually fill up very quickly. So if these interest you at all, I encourage you to log on right away and register for these camps. If you have come to camps in the past, you will notice a little something different with registration this year. You are going to be registering using Ultra Camp, which is a new camp registration software that we're really excited to have in North Dakota. And so if you just go to the NDSU or North Dakota 4-H website, there's a big link at the top that says register for camp here. You'll put in all of that information. And like I said, those horse camps, especially the Wish I Had a Horse camp, which is for kids who are really interested in horses. They've always wanted a horse. They'll learn how to saddle, bridle, ride, lead, and care for their horse, learn how to groom a horse properly, and kind of get the experience of what it's like to own a horse of your own. This is a beginning camp for kids 8 through 10, and there's no animal required. So if you have a son or daughter who's at home who absolutely loves horses, has always wanted a horse, and it's really not something that you're ready to jump into or you're not able to, send them to 4-H camp because they'll get that opportunity to learn about what it's like to have a horse. Now, if you have older kids, ages 11 and up, who are horse kids and have their own horse, then there is a camp the week of June 11th through the 15th called Completing the Pattern. And this will help participants learn and practice common 4-H show classes such as showmanship, equitation, horsemanship, trail and games, all of those skills that they need to kind of further their abilities in those horse shows. So you bring your own horse, and the campers must be able to saddle and bridle their horse as well as ride it at a lope. So there are a few skills that you need in order to attend that camp. Now, not all of our camps are animals. That is one of the biggest misconceptions I think about 4-H, is that you have to have an animal to be in 4-H. And 4-H is so much more than animals, especially in our urban areas like Bismarck and Mandan. We have camps that focus on expressing yourself, unleashing that creative genius in you, where you're going to be working with different art mediums, dipping your toes into theater, making homemade items. They're going to be doing a few Pinterest projects. And of course, just like every camp, there'll be s'mores, dances, and the thing that North Dakota 4-H Camp I think is kind of known for is our water slide. The kids love to play on the water slide, so hopefully we have some nice warm weather this summer that we can partake in some water slide activities. And that Express Yourself Camp is that week of June 11th through the 15th. And also going on that week is Create It Camp. And this is a camp for kids who like to tinker or try new things. They get to kind of dabble their toes in a bunch of different areas, including science, photography, woodworking. Maybe they have an interest in working with wood, but you don't have those resources and availability of tools at home. This is an opportunity for them to kind of learn how to use a skill saw and learn how to use a sander and learn how to properly frame your pictures. So that will be a really fun camp. And then for our younger kids, ages 5 to 8, we have Cloverbud Camp, and this is a one-night camp, and this camp for our younger kids, you actually, as a parent or guardian, we've had grandma and grandpas come, aunts and uncles, you attend the camp with the kids. So it's an opportunity for them to get exposure to 4-H camp, kind of see what 4-H camp is all about, but with the comfort of having somebody that they know there with them. And so at 4-H camp, or at Clover Camp, they'll get to meet new friends, try the outdoors, learn about 4-H camp, do some exciting 4-H projects, and really start that lifelong learning that happens in 4-H. And that Cloverbud Camp is actually offered twice, once in June 16th and 17th, and once in July 21st and 22nd. So there's a lot of great opportunities for you to explore and try new things regardless of what your age is or what your interests are. One thing that's really big in both Burleigh and Morton County is the shooting sports and archery programs. And there are a few different camps that focus on those. The shooting sports camp, June 18th through the 22nd, will help connect you to the outdoors. There'll be hunting skills challenges, fishing. You'll also explore aspects of the outdoor skills project, hands-on live fire exercises in all the shooting disciplines, and team challenges will make this experience you will not forget. So that camp sounds really great. And then there's also the Bullseye Archery Camp, which is July 9th through the 13th. And if archery is your thing, this is your camp. This camp is designed to help you improve your shooting skills. You'll be able to practice a variety of different challenges and target shooting. There's also that fun skill development, and if you do have your own equipment, you can bring that. Now, some kids just aren't into the great outdoors, don't really like being out with bugs. We do have a camp called You're the Chef Camp, and this is for those kids that like to be in the kitchen. They want to learn how to cook and how to create different foods. It's designed for kids, like I said, who love cooking, and it's a chance to become familiar with kitchen equipment, measuring, terms, judging food items. You will build a fire, grill, and sample awesome food. And the last few years, I have helped out with this camp, and this camp is for ages 10 and older, and they have done some really cool things. Last year, my mom actually and I went up and we taught a lesson on how to make your own mozzarella cheese, which is actually pretty easy and pretty fun to do. So if you have kids who'd like that kind of thing, another time I went up and we taught them how to make pad thai and pot stickers, and we made homemade fortune cookies. So they're really going to not only learn those skills and how to use them in the kitchen, but also they'll get to try a variety of different foods. Now, one of our more popular camps are our adventure camps, and we actually have 3 adventure camps throughout the course of the summer that have just a wide range of different activities that they can do. They may go hiking, they may catch bugs, they may go to the low ropes course. So there's a lot of really awesome things. One that a lot of our older kids like is our Survivor Camp, and this is based on kind of the theme of the TV show Survivor, where they're split off into teams and they're really working on that teamwork, leadership. They're completing challenges throughout the week. We have a idol that they carry around that they get to add different things to based on who wins what challenges. So there's a lot of really great camps that are offered through 4-H Camp. And if you want more information about these camps, you can visit the North Dakota 4-H Camping website or give your local extension office a call. If you're having problems registering for camp, you can give the Center for 4-H a call, and that number is 701-231-7251. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll just talk a little more about the benefits of camping.
Right Now 24.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on Super Talk 1270.
All right, welcome back to the Extension Connection. I am Amelia Dahl. I'm the 4-H Youth Development Agent for Burleigh County Extension. We kind of talked about a lot of things spring in this episode. At the beginning of the episode, we were talking about a few learning opportunities that are coming up with the Spring Fever Forums, and the Garden Expo. And then right before the break, we were talking about 4-H Camp because registration opens today. We kind of highlighted a few of those different camps. And if you would like a full list of camps and those descriptions, you can go to www.ndsu.edu/4h/camp. That's also where you are going to register. And just a reminder that 4-H membership is not needed to enroll or to register for camp. So if your child is not in 4-H, they can still participate in 4-H camp. And if you're having problems with that registration process, you can give the Center for 4-H a call at 231-7251. That's 701-231-7251. Now, there's a lot of benefits to going to 4-H camp, and we kind of talked about some of those. One being that hands-on experience and getting to participate in doing things. And that quote I kind of messed up earlier was a Confucius quote that says, "I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I will understand." And so it's really, kids are at that prime age where we want to be helping them understand why things work and understand what they enjoy. So 4-H camp or any camp is really an opportunity to do that. 4-H camp provides real-life experiences. There's educators and instructors that will help the campers get real-life, authentic learning. It's kind of like on-the-job training, but they get to be at camp. And so they may be learning about caring for an animal or conducting science experience next to a science professional. So they're learning all sorts of skills directly from people who use those skills. And I had mentioned this one earlier, and I think this is a really important one. Allowed to make mistakes. Kids now are so pressured to always be perfect, always get that A, get that 4.0. And camp is a safe environment that kids are allowed to make mistakes, and they're not given a grade, and they don't have to worry about it affecting their GPA or their admittance into a college. And on the contrary, they may gain skills that help them get into college or future employment. So Bill Ackerman said, "Experience is making mistakes and learning from them." So we all know that we don't do everything right perfectly the first time. And so if we are offering kids these opportunities to learn these new things, they're making mistakes, and we're helping them develop those skills to learn from those mistakes. Continued education. We know that during the summertime, kids aren't necessarily in school. We may have a few that are in summer school, but they may not have that opportunity to be in the classroom. And so we want to decrease that learning loss that happens over the summer so much and continue learning. And they don't have to be learning about math or science or geography, although some of those lessons are included in what we're teaching at 4-H camp, but just continuing to work that mind to help the learning happen. And it's time away from home. And every year when I go to 4-H camp, this is probably one of the biggest things. Kids need that sense of being able to be independent and be away from home, but that's a scary first step to take. If they've never had that experience, then they don't know what to expect. And so 4-H camp is a safe place for them to do that, where they get to learn along with others who are really in the same boat they are, take responsibility for themselves, and learn about who they are as a person and the leader that they are as well. They get to participate in outdoor activities. As Bruce mentioned earlier, North Dakota 4-H camp is located right along the Missouri River. And so there are many opportunities for outdoor learning to take place. They may go on a hike along one of the walking trails through the wooded area behind camp. They may go fishing down on the river. They may go explore in the low ropes course. Every camp also does campfires, which is something that is kind of synonymous with camp. And with campfires come s'mores. And I don't think I've ever met a kid who didn't like at least one component of a s'more. Jim is giving me the thumbs up. I'm guessing that he likes all 3 components of the s'more. Yep, me too, Jim. So we really are providing opportunities for them to learn. And we often hear adults say that they wish that they could go to 4-H camp. And really, I wish I could go as a camper to 4-H camp. And this year, I actually get to take my oldest son to Cloverbud camp, which will be super fun. One of my really good friends is going to take her daughter, who is also 5, and I'm going to take William. And it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it, getting to show them kind of the ropes of 4-H camp and what is all there. So, camp is a great experience and a good opportunity. Again, if you're interested in registering for 4-H camp, you can go to www.ndsu.edu/4H/camp. And quick before we end our show here, I just wanted to put a plug in for our vendor show that we have coming up March 11th from 10 to 3. So that's next Saturday at the 4-H building. And this is a fundraiser that we do. We rent the booth space out, and all of the money that's raised from those booth rentals goes to support camp scholarships. So we were talking about camp today. Burleigh County 4-H Council gives out several scholarships to help send kids to camp so they get to experience those activities and that have that experience. And so this vendor show helps us generate the funds to be able to do that. We have a lot of really great vendors. The last time we did this in December, our area was packed. It's in that big arena out the 4-H building. If you don't know where we're located, our address is 3715 East Bismarck Expressway. It's the green and tan building at the Missouri Valley Complex, which is right across from Game and Fish. So there's a lot of great opportunities there. And during that show, I actually, from 1 to 3 o'clock, will be having a project day for kids. So if you want to sign your kids up for the project day, we're going to be painting mason jars. Sign them up for that project day, and then for those 2 hours while we are creating, you can go and shop the vendor show. Pre-registration for that is required, and we do still have a few spots available. So if you're interested in registering your child for that mason jar painting project day, you can call our office at 221-6865, and we'll get you that registration link to do that. Again, there's no requirement to be a 4-H member. So if your child just likes to make things and they want to kind of see what it's all about, sign them up for a project day. And this is a great one because then for those 2 hours, you can be shopping and supporting some local businesses. So again, you are joined by Burleigh County 4-H today, Burleigh County Extension today on the first day of camp registration. If you have any questions about the different camps that are offered, again, I'll give you that website, www.ndsu.edu/4H/camp. Not only is there a lot of information about the different camps available, but also how to register. The process is a little different this year versus last year. And then if you have any questions about camp in general, feel free to give me a call. My number is 221-6865. And again, my name is Amelia. Thanks for joining us today on the Extension Connection, and we will talk to you again in 2 weeks.